Hello class, Dr. Randy Butler. Continuing on with assignment 3-2, milestone 1. This is the guidelines for success to complete the assignment. First of all, I want you, when you start this assignment, I want you to assume that you are the project manager for this project, and you will have to make some assumptions for some of the data. Not all of the data in the case study is available, so you as the project manager will have to make assumptions and identify where you made the assumptions at and put it in the plan document. The second bullet here is use the case study, fabricant manufacturing project, section 3.27 through 3.27.4 in your MindEdge to provide the data and anything that you need out of the for this assignment. There is going to be two other case studies, for one for milestone 2 and also one for the final project. So this is what you're doing in this particular assignment will basically be repeated with a different case study and continuing on the project plan. We'll have more concepts to add, more elements to add to the plan as we move along. One of the issues that I've had in the past is students want to repeat the case study back to me. Please do not do that. That is just takes up a bunch of your time and my time. I don't want to hear the case study. I want to know the problems that you're trying to solve here with the project management concepts, and I also want to know specifically how your approach to it, the process. So we're focusing on the process, project management processes throughout this assignment. You can use the templates that I provide, but you may also, some of you that have project management experience and have used other templates, you may want to bring in something that's very similar, as long as you capture the elements that we're requesting in the assignment. That's fine with me. I would leave your company name off of it, but basically, if you think something is better, you can bring it over. Stay as close to the page count of 3 to 4 pages as possible. Now, when you look at this thing, you think, oh my God, how can I do that? Well, I'm going to say, first of all, you can take the templates out of your page count and don't count them, but do count your text. So stay to 3 to 4 pages. If you get up into 6, 7, 8, 10 pages, I'm just going to send it back to you because it's just way too much. It doesn't need to be that much for this assignment. So please, please stay within the 3 to 4 pages as much as possible. Your submission must be in one document. I don't want a bunch of extra files all loaded up into the submittal forms or submittal form for the assignments. What I've provided you is a video in the announcement that we'll go through in just a few minutes to give you, to teach you how to merge between portrait and landscape documents. Some of them you may already know that, that's fine, but others that don't know it, this is a great little tool, or process, you might say, using Word, where you can merge documents between portrait and landscape, because many of your templates are in landscape form. Your paper needs to be organized, and organize it by subheaders related to the rubric. Follow the rubric all the way through. Paper submittal template is provided in the announcement for you to organize your paper. So that kind of gives you the guidelines. This will be posted with the announcement, these two slides, one from the discussion and one from this assignment, so you can refer back to it. Okay, now I'd like to reflect a little bit on the rubric that's available for this assignment. Please look it over, make sure you're very familiar with it and what your approach is going to be. The rubric has 7 elements to it. This specific focused on project initiation, from doing a feasibility, a couple paragraphs on feasibility, through the strategic goals, all the way through the project charter, high-level timeline. And I'll get to this in a few minutes on exactly what your approach could be for this. Your key stakeholders, internal and external, identify them, identify the support for the key stakeholders, and complete the stakeholder analysis template. Now, this is the guidelines for submission. I've given you a paper submittal template that's already in Times New Roman 12. It actually has the place for you to put for the subheaders for project initiation, and it is an APA style, and also there's a reference section. You will need two references right here, two references, the two sources to support your document. This is the rubric. Go through it because you can either have proficient, needs improvement, or not evident. Now, if you get into this not evident area here, it's 0%. So you're dropping from 75% to 0. So in the first round of this assignment last term, many students overlooked many of the sections and didn't provide data to support it. You must have information for each section of the rubric, or you will get a 0 for that area. So if you miss 2 or 3, you're already down to 25 or 30 points down. So make sure you follow the rubric all the way through. The next, I want to go through the announcement that I'm going to publish. Okay, back again here with the announcement now, specifically the video. I've already pushed in the video here for the 3.1 that is available. The second video URL will be available as soon as I finish this video, and I'll post it in here. I put together a little matrix here of what is required for this assignment following the 7 deliverables. These are deliverables here that you have to produce as a project manager. The first deliverable is identify the economic, technical, and organizational feasibility of the project. Okay, so what you need to do is, now we've talked already about in week 2 about financial models. We need to go back and do a little more work on weighted scoring and project selection process and how it is important to identify economic, technology, and organizational feasibility for the project. There's no template here. It's just one to 2 paragraphs, very straightforward. You can mention some things from the case study that maybe they didn't have a method, and this is what you would recommend as a project manager. These type of concepts, how would I walk through the financial models? How does the weighted scoring work? And how would projects be selected? Those kind of things. You can do that in 2 or 3 paragraphs pretty easily. Okay, the same thing on the B is explain how the project aligns to the organizational strategic goals. When you think about this, it's really linking the projects to the strategic goals. And I think in module 2, they talked about traceability matrix, and I think some of you have seen already in the journal where you talked about linking and using the traceability matrix. It's important to basically write the process here. You can identify the goals from the case study and bring those in and say, okay, I found the goals for this particular organization. Now, how I would link that, I will do this, or I will do that. I will use traceability in order to make sure that I'm linking the goals to the strategic plan. Okay, this third one here is develop a project charter. Again, we walked through that in the discussion. Many of you overlooked the fact of doing the charter elements. I did mention that you should be bringing the charter elements into your discussion. Here, you can just basically talk about a paragraph before the charter of what the process would be in collecting this information. And then you can use this template here. And I'll bring the template up. Just click on it and it should come up here and it's available. And I bring it over here. You can see this template here you can just use it to capture the items out of the case study and bring them directly into the charter. And then you can post that into your document. So, okay, the next step is to talk about creating a high-level timeline and cost estimate to complete the project. Here you need to identify the task, identify some start and end dates. And I don't think you're going to have those in the case study. You may have to assume what they are and make a note that I made the assumption that this is where they should start in. Again, provide a little 1-paragraph explanation of why you would identify a high-level timeline and cost estimate. A template's provided here. This is the template that I've put together. We'll bring it up. And in the template, it's just basically straightforward. You can create your own project. You can create your own project numbering system. description of the task, planned duration days for that particular task, planned start date, planned completion date. You can estimate the labor that are material, and you put the number of units. You can do a cost per unit type estimate and give a total cost. These will be all assumptions. I know that there is no cost data in that case study, so you will have to use your own assumptions to be able to bring this forward. Let me close this out. We'll go back now to the stakeholder concerns. Identify the concerns of the internal and external key project stakeholders. This is kind of tricky. There are concerns named in the case study. You need to provide a paragraph detailing why you would identify. Sorry about that. I got two identifiers in there. I'll take one out on the final. But anyway, the stakeholders concerned. And my opinion about stakeholder concerns are that from concerns move into issues, issues move into risk. So, that's the kind of logic you need to think about here. When you're identifying the concerns up front in the initiation, you need to be aware of those because they may turn into be eventually a risk to the project. So that is the concern, that is the main reason that we're doing that in the initiation stage. I have a template. I'll see if I can bring it up here. And here's the same type of template, the concern number, description, impact to the project, date identified, due date to complete, stakeholder identified, internal, external. Remember that was one of the requirements here. External stakeholder, internal stakeholders. Project team member concern assigned to and date completed. So this is just for comments here if you want to add some comments. And then the next one, F, is to compare the level of support from all key project stakeholders to inform the course of action resulting in success of the project. It's important to understand your stakeholders, who's going to support you and who's going to give you the necessary that level of support when you need it. I interpret this to mean basically a stakeholder register, and that's identified in your MindEdge. Provide a one paragraph explanation of why you would create a stakeholder register, and a template is provided for this. So I've created this template. By the way, these templates are templates that I use over and over again. In many cases, of course, they have a lot more data associated with it, but these are the main elements that, in fact, one project that I'm working on in Nebraska right now, I have a complete stakeholder register, and it's available to all of the team. So if we need to call somebody, if we need to find out something, we have information to support that. So it's basically the stakeholder register. Then finally, this I've already had a question about this. Complete the stakeholder analysis template. In Module 1, there is a discussion about the power, attitude, and interest grid and the salience model. This is what we're talking about here, and you need to create a graphic and be able to identify where those stakeholders lie in those graphics. You can use either one. One is fine. Either one's fine with me. So refer to Module 1 for that information. Going on down, I do have this paper submittal template that's available that I would like you to follow. It makes my grading easy. It makes your life easy. It gives you a checklist. Let me pull it over here. It basically starts out with the project manager's name, project management plan, company. You can put some type of logo on it, and then here's your elements that we've talked about, those 7 elements that you're going to be writing on. It's already put in double spacing, and it's ready to go for you. It's all Times New Roman 12. 2 references. I use the MindEdge reference here. So that's your template for submittal. Again, 3 to 4 pages, and will work really good, minus any templates. So I think you have 4 templates there and a graphic, so that's maybe 5 additional pages. So that should take care of it. And then finally, here's the little video at the bottom to merge portrait and landscape documents into one document. This video takes you through. I created it for the final project on the last term, so it refers to that final project, but it's the same thing. You basically can start a portrait and then move in a template right below it, and continue on back and forth until you have a complete document. Do not give me separate documents and a whole bunch of files. Do not give me a document that has all of the elements in it and then does a bunch of um, appendix. I do not want that. Merge them all together so it's one continuous plan throughout. Okay, first they're going to have, I'm sure, a lot of questions, even though this is a lot of detail that I've really worked hard to give it to you. I expect questions. I will try to do my best to put something out on Wednesday with all the questions that I've received, and also bring some questions forward from the previous term. Of course, I won't identify anyone, but I definitely think that frequently asked questions are very good help as you move forward. And you can add to that as we go through the week. So good luck on this assignment. I know it's going to be tough, this first one, but when you get past this one, it's going to be much easier for Milestone 2 and for the final project. So let's get the process in place and work through it, and that'll go forward with the great papers at the end, the final project, which really is good. It's worth about, I think, 350 points. This one I think is worth 100. So you want to make sure you get to the point where you can really present a good, solid project plan. So thank you, and good luck.